Hey guys, Cecil here once again. Hey, I want to talk to you guys about something tonight that's been kind of stewing in my mind the last few years. Something I've thought about on and off and from time to time that I feel has kind of become an underlying problem in the gaming community, and more specifically the retro and collecting communities in general. And that's kind of the intimidation factor when it comes to collecting. Now, you might be thinking, what do I mean by intimidation factor? Well, it's kind of a two-pronged problem that is what I've noticed in the last few years. The first problem is pricing and the cost of getting into the hobby. You know, modern gaming, as always, is pretty expensive these days. $60 for a brand new game that might only give you 5-6 hours of gameplay and DLC and season passes. Now, depending on what era of gaming you're looking at, we've had very expensive games. If you ever grew up in the 90s, you might remember very large Sega Genesis or Super Nintendo or N64 carts. It might have been $80, $100, depending on the size of the cart, versus maybe $40 for like a PlayStation 1 game during the 5th generation because it came on CD media. And game prices going up. So, pricing in general has fluctuated over the last several years. But, for a lot of people, $60 is quite a bit of money every month, especially if you don't have a lot of expendable income. For some people, that alone might be a reason not to feel like collecting is really for them. Especially now with retro collecting too. I mean, some games now that were maybe $20, $30 6-7 years ago, they're now $70, $80 for a complete copy. I've noticed this a lot with Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo games, have spiked in price in the last few years due to resellers, and demand for the games and there being such a limited supply, And so pricing is kind of one facet of the intimidation factor, but the other is more that some collectors, not all, but some consider collecting and they make it to be like a pissing contest. Who's got the most stuff? Who's got the most rare and expensive item or items in their collections? And to me, that has never ever what this hobby has been about. Now, if you've seen a lot of my videos, I've got a decent amount of stuff, ranging from, retro, Atari up to modern. I have a PlayStation 4, Wii U, 3DS, Vita. But like I said, it's more for people that never had the opportunity. It's taken me years to get the stuff I have, and there's some people who've only been collecting for maybe a couple of years and they have a small little library and a bookshelf, and then they go online and they see this huge, massive collection of someone, like a huge room or rooms just full of crap, and it's like, oh man, how am I ever going to, get a collection that big, or this is it's just, oh man, it's hard for me to feel like I can really contribute when I don't own anything. And you should never, ever, ever feel like that. To me, that's not what this hobby is about. You should collect for the things you want to collect. If you want to collect for everything Xbox 360 or PlayStation 3 and not worry about anything else, go for it. If you want to collect for older retro systems, maybe something you never had an opportunity to play as a kid, go for it. I've never felt a time where having the most crap or being able to spend the most money on something has been the defining factor of having a collection. It's what you want to collect, what you want to do, what you want to spend your time and energy on finding and collecting. Because we should be sharing this hobby and not worrying about who has the most crap. You should... to me, it's like whoever you find out about this great game you never knew existed and you want to let more people know about it, especially modern games. There might be some new release on PlayStation Network that isn't getting a lot of pub and you want to let people know about it. Or there was some retro game, that came out 15, 20 years ago that never got a lot of press and deserves more. attention, and you want to let people know about that. So that's what I really mean by, you know, sharing and applauding people. Applauding, you know, someone for finding, you know, some really hard to find game, you know, that's maybe worth a lot, and they found it for a really good price at a flea market or a garage sale or something. Those are the kinds of things we should be applauding and sharing amongst each other. Not, you know, collecting like a pissing contest and, you know, making it feel, especially for younger people, you know, who might, you know, only be teenagers or in college, who might not have a lot of expendable income. You know, it should never be to them like it would be, it's too hard to get into it, because you should be able to just collect for the things you want and really be happy doing it. Because if you're not happy collecting, then it's something you really shouldn't be doing in general. It should never be about getting the most stuff. It should be about enjoying it, playing the games, having fun, not, you know, grading whatever complete copy you got, you know, by someone, and some reseller is now putting it on eBay in you know, those, you know, collectible little glass cases. I forget the grading system that's used for it, but I've never ever really understood the point of that. To me, if it's getting to the point where we're starting to grade video games like baseball cards, then it's time to really reevaluate the reason people collect. So that's kind of my feelings on this, guys. I kind of wanted to just bring it to the forefront because I don't think this is really talked about very much. I'd really like to hear your opinion on this in general. So feel free to leave a comment below. And I also do apologize. I know I don't reply very much to your comments. I have a lot of videos that get shared and have comments made on them, and I do really appreciate everyone taking the time to watch my videos, even though it might not really seem like I interact with my subscribers. You know, I haven't posted very much in the last year or so, yet I've been gaining, you know, steady subscribers, you know, a few new subscribers every week, and I'd like to thank everyone who has, and I really do appreciate you taking the time and energy to like my channel and to share the videos you have. But anyways, let me know what you guys think about this in the comments, like I said. Otherwise, you guys take it easy, and I'll see you next time.